Very good morning, guys. We are in chapter number 1, that is Rise of Nationalism in Europe. Till now we covered the topic of French Revolution and how French Revolution is the beginning of revolutions in other countries in Europe. We also studied about Napoleon Bonaparte, and please try to remember, write down the Napoleonic Code or a civic code of 1804 and the measures introduced by Napoleon in the Napoleonic Code. Today let us move to the next major topic, that is the making of nationalism in Europe. Observe the figure 5. The courier of Rhineland loses all that he has on the way to Leipzig. Napoleon here is represented as the postman and the way back to France after he lost the battle in 1813. Each letter dropping out his bag bears the name of territories he lost. Now what is this painting clearly explains that when Napoleon lost the battle in the year 1813, that is the beginning of Napoleon's loss, means the powerful ruler of France started losing the battles, and finally he was defeated in the Battle of Waterloo in the year 1815. So let us move to the topic of making of nationalism in Europe. Now try to understand, what do you mean by nationalism? Nationalism is a concept in which the countries grow as a nation state. If a country has to grow as a nation state, those countries should unite under the concept of nation. To unite under the concept of nation, the country should have certain important aspects. Can you remember? Aspects like common culture, common language, common flag. So if the country is having certain commonalities, then making nation is very easy. So let us check the major empires of those days. The major empires of those days, one is Habsburg Empire that ruled Austria-Hungary. So please write down the Empire of Habsburg. This empire ruled which province? They ruled Austria-Hungary. So this is the province which they ruled. And the regions of Alpine mountains, Troy, Australia, Sutherland was also ruled by them, but this area was dominated by the German speaking people. So the empire of Habsburg Empire ruled Austria-Hungary, and Austria-Hungary is not the place with a single language. The culture and language was different in the different places. Italian speaking provinces like Lombardy and Valencia and in Hungary, half of the population spoke different dialects. Now what you have to understand here is that even in Italy, Italian language also, there is a different dialects. Like dialects means a different type of connotations. For example, Kannada which we speak in Bijapur is different than Kannada which they speak in Mysore or in Mangalore, because the regional language or the local language influence that language. So naturally the dialects will change. So Italian speaking also, the province of Lombardy, they were speaking Italy, but the dialects were different. Galcia, this is a place where the aristocracy or the rich people they spoke Polish language. Now Polish language is the influence of Poland. Okay. Now why all this is explained to you? Because please try to understand it how difficult it is to unite those those provinces. Because even though the geographically or the provinces belongs to the same dynasty of Habsburg dynasty, but each and every province of this particular dynasty, they spoke different language. When they spoke different language, naturally their culture and affiliation to the culture is different. So, thus it is very very difficult to promote the sense of political unity. That is what is called. Thus, it was not easy to promote sense of political unity. What do you mean by political unity? Means bring them under single control. That is called political unity. If you want to bring them under single political control, then it is easy to rule them under the idea of nationalism. So it was very difficult to promote the idea of nationalism because of the diverse group of population. So why it was difficult in Europe to raise the nationalism issue? Because the population of European countries, they were diverse culture or a different culture. As a result, it was very very difficult to unite them. Why this point is explained to you that uniting Europe was not a cakewalk. For example, when we study Italian unification, German unification, we will definitely study about all these things. Because uniting Germany was very difficult task because Germany was spread under various other provinces where the culture was different. The same case with the England also, because England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales and Britain makes United Kingdom. Irish language is different, Scottish language is different. So when language, culture, everything is different, uniting them under single head was very very difficult. The same case in India. For example, you see, even after independence, in the year 1952, the various states in India, they demanded for a separate statehood. That's why today what we see, division of states on the basis of language, that India is divided into various states. What are the basis for this? Basis is nothing but language. Kannada speaking people, this area was declared as Karnataka, like that. So, since there is a diverse or a different group of people, nationalism was a difficult task in Europe. I hope you are understood what I am explaining. Now, the concept of plebiscite. Okay. What is the concept of plebiscite? Plebiscite is nothing but direct vote by which all people of a region are asked to accept or reject the proposal. Plebiscite, there is a demand of plebiscite in Kashmir immediately after independence. Means it is told that you should ask the people of Kashmir where they want to join. But the government of India clearly rejected that we don't want a plebiscite in Jammu and Kashmir because it is an integral part of India. Since it's an integral part of India, definitely we don't want to hold a plebiscite. Okay. Okay. This chapter will deal many issues visualized by Soroy's painting on figure 1. During the 19th century, nationalism emerged as a force which brought about sweeping changes in political and the mental world of Europe. The end result of these changes was emergence of nation state. So what is the end result of this struggle? That is what? Emergence of nation state. Emergence of nation state of multinational dynasties of Europe. The concept and the practice of modern states in which the centralized power exercise sovereign over the clear defined territory. It has been developing over a long period of time in Europe, but the nation state was one which the majority of citizens and its rulers came to develop a sense of common identity or the history of descent. This is what I said. It is very important to have common identity. Please write down. What is the major aim of nationalism in Europe is nothing but to create the nation state. Why nation state? Because most of the countries were ruled by multinational dynastic or empires. Okay. So since they were ruled by different empires, bringing them together was difficult, but every country, for example, I repeat once again, Italy, Germany and even Greece, all these countries tried to unite the countries as a nation state and spread the sense of nationalism. Okay, so this chapter will look into diverse process through which the nation state or nationalism came in Europe. So this is a map of Europe after the Congress of Vienna. Now I'll explain what is Congress of Vienna. I told you that Napoleon Bonaparte was defeated in a battle of Waterloo in the year 1815. After Napoleon Bonaparte defeated in the battle of Waterloo in the year 1815, the countries which defeated Napoleon Bonaparte, they signed a treaty called Treaty of Vienna, that is famously known as Vienna Settlement. Under the Vienna Settlement, the areas which were once controlled by Napoleon Bonaparte were distributed or allotted to the countries who defeated Napoleon Bonaparte. Please write down. The European powers like Britain, Russia, Prussia and Austria, who collectively defeated Napoleon. So who defeated Napoleon Bonaparte? Britain, Russia, Prussia, P-R-U-S-S-I-A and Austria. So four countries joined together and defeated Napoleon Bonaparte in Battle of Waterloo. So Battle of Waterloo, Napoleon Bonaparte was defeated. After defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte, these four countries took the leadership of signing what? That is Treaty of Vienna in 1815. Who led the Treaty of Vienna? The Treaty of Vienna was led by Austrian Chancellor Duke Metternich. So who led the Treaty of Vienna is Austrian Chancellor Duke Metternich. He led the Treaty of Vienna. Let us check the countries once again. So you can see Scotland, Netherlands, Prussia. This is a country. Galcia, which I told you. Austrian Empire. So Austrian Empire. Who was the king of Austrian Empire? The king of Austrian Empire was Chancellor Duke Metternich. So Chancellor Duke Metternich was a king of Austrian Empire. Whenever we speak about this, Prussia is nothing but Germany only. So Poland. You see, Poland is the country which most of the time it is controlled either by Prussia or by Russian Empire. Okay, that's why the people of Poland who speak Polish language, even though they spoke Polish language, most of the time they were influenced by either German or by the Russian language. So France, Portugal, Spain, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, Serbia, Georgia, okay, Denmark. I told you Great Britain or United Kingdom includes Scotland, Ireland, Wales and England. So that makes United Kingdom. Uniting this kingdom was also difficult because I told you Ireland, Scotland and Wales, these countries have their own culture, language. So naturally it was very difficult task there also. So please remember, Austrian Empire, Duke Metternich, Chancellor Duke Metternich presided over which Congress? Congress of Vienna in 1815. Okay. Now please remember this one. This is Ottoman Empire. Okay. Why we speak about Ottoman Empire? Because the influence of Ottoman Empire, I repeat once again, please concentrate. The influence of Ottoman Empire is very much on the country of Greece. Now, why there is an influence? Because Ottoman Empire controlled Greece. Okay. So Ottoman Empire controlled Greece. Now the question, when Ottoman Empire controlled Greece, okay, the countries like England, okay, the countries like England was not happy that Ottoman Empire controlling Greece. The reason is that Ottoman Empire is Greece is a Christian country, and all Europeans, they believe that Greece is a cradle of European civilization. But this Ottoman Empire is a Muslim dynasty or a Muslim empire. So that's the reason why England supported Greece to fight against Ottoman Empire and declare their independence. This is what we study in the later part of this chapter. Okay. So please remember, in the later part of this chapter we study about this, where how Greece, there was a revolution in Greece, and this revolution of Greece was supported by other countries in Europe. So as a result, what happened? Greece was declared as an independent nation from the Ottoman Empire. Now not only this, later this is very much linked with the World War I. Why? Because Ottoman Empire was not happy, because Ottoman Empire was forced to give freedom to Greece because of the pressure by England. That's the reason why when World War I was declared, Ottoman Empire supported Germany. So Ottoman Empire supported Germany, that Austrian Empire, just because they wanted to take revenge against the England, because England was fighting against the Germany. So try to remember, all this is connected. That's why I am explaining you now itself. Now take for example of this particular country. Okay, this particular country is Italy. Now Italy is controlled by two other, that is two kingdoms of Sicily. Not only that, the Sardinian Piedmont, this was also another control of Italy. So Italy was, this particular area was controlled by 7 independent kingdoms. The central Italy was ruled by Pope. So that is the reason why the unification of Italy later became very, very difficult. Try to remember the two kingdoms of Sicily, Sardinia, Piedmont, and central Italy, part of Italy. Okay. So try to please write down all this, because these points are very, very important, because in a math point definitely the question is asked. Remember France, Spain, Portugal. Okay, important things you have to remember. Very important, Poland. Okay, Ottoman Empire you should remember, because Ottoman Empire is very much linked with the later part when we study about the even Indian nationalism. Please remember Greece. Okay, and Sardinia and Piedmont. Okay, and all these are very important, because math pointing is generally asked on this. Please take care of, please try to locate all these map in a countries in a world map. Okay. So let us move to the topic, how nationalism in Europe. If you look at the map of mid 18th century, you will find there is no nation states. This is what, there is no nation states here. Why nation states here? Austrian Empire, Austria controlled here. So many places they controlled. What we know today as Germany, Italy, Switzerland were divided into kingdoms, duchies and cantons, whose rulers had their autonomous territories. Eastern and Central Europe were under autocratic monarchies within the territories of which lived diverse people. They did not see themselves as sharing a collective identity or a common culture. Often, they even spoke different language, belongs to different ethnic group. Habsburg Empire ruled over Austria. So Habsburg Empire Habsburg Empire ruled over which province? The Habsburg Empire ruled over Austria and Hungary. This is the place they ruled. And different regions, it could include Alpine regions, which I already explained. There were aristocracy, predominantly German speaking. It also included the Italian speaking province of Lombardy and Venetia. In Hungary, half of the population spoke Magyar, where other half of the spoke variety of dialects, which I told you, the different language they spoke. Aristocracy spoke which language? Polish. They also lived within the boundaries of empire. The mass subject peasants or the common man, they spoke about Bohemians and Slovaks. Slovaks is nothing but Slovenia in the north. Such difference did not easily promote sense of political unity. The only tie binding these diverse groups together was a common allegiance to the empire. What is only one thing which was very common? Because they were ruled by a common king. This is what we should remember in the independence of India. Why Indians? It was very difficult to unite Indians. Because same case in India also, we didn't had ruled by a single monarch or a king. What happened during British period? British were able to defeat most of, rather entire empires in India and united under single control. As a result, what happened? There was a single enemy. Who was a single enemy? That was the British. That's the reason why it was rather little easy for Mahatma Gandhi to unite Indians under a single head, because enemy was common. So that is what we have to understand. Please understand the background, how it was difficult to unite the European countries because of they had a different or a diverse culture. Okay. Please write down certain important dates related to this particular chapter. 1797, Napoleon invaded Italy and Napoleonic Wars began in 1797. 1814 to 1815, the Napoleonic fall of Napoleon, the Vienna peace settlement, who presided Vienna settlement? Duke Metternich. Duke Metternich was the chancellor of which country? Austria. 1821, Greek struggle for independence begin, which I explained you. Greek was under the control of which kingdom? Ottoman kingdom, Ottoman dynasty. 1848, revolutions in Europe. Who led the revolutions in Europe? Artisans, industrial workers, peasants. Revolt against economic hardship. Middle class demanded constitution, representation. Italian, German, migrant, Poles, Czechs, that is Czech Republic, all demanded for nation state. Unification of Italy, 1859 to 1870. 1866 to 1871, German unification. And finally 1905, Pan-Slavic countries, Slav nationalism, gathering forces, Habsburg and Ottoman Empire. This is resulted in Balkan Wars. Later the Balkan Wars itself is responsible for World War I. Okay, we will continue in the next class. Take care. Wish you a wonderful day.